This is... Oh, were you going to say it again?
Yeah, cholecystolithotriptor.
What?
Okay, that's great. This is the 14th of January, 2021. I'm Commander Jantrax, and this is Loose Screws. We have started the show with everybody making fun of me for using technical audio jargon, which I swear is real, and now they're all spitting jargon at me, and I think some of it might be real, but a lot of it is made up. But that's where I sit. There's a lot to talk about tonight, and I am joined by many people. Let's run it down. Commander Chig, hello.
Hello, how are you?
All right. Devoluter is here.
Or just Devo, if you're nasty.
Or just I always am.
Yeah.
Commander Dubs is here.
Hello.
Hello. Lieutenant Commander Data is here.
Good evening, everybody.
And just slipping in the door at the last minute, by the way.
That's right.
Well done.
Totally prepared.
Nurgle is also here. Hello.
Greetings and salutations.
And NL Hate.
Hold on, I wasn't paying attention. Can we start over?
Yeah, it's January 14th.
I'm pulling your leg, buddy.
Jantrax. This is Loose Screws. Everybody's been making fun of me and the things that I said. I think that about brings us up to speed.
That was it.
Yeah, great job, everybody. So here we are. There's actually like a lot of stuff on the note sheet. And many of us have taken off on an expedition, but some people haven't quite left yet. Let's see. What's been everybody's in game? Who's been exploring and who hasn't? Everybody talk at once.
Yes, way to go.
I've been doing some exploring. I haven't found anything really outrageous yet, other than a 5-star system with 2 sets of binaries orbiting a central star.
Wow.
That was, nothing else of interest in the system, but...
But, I mean, how are your shakes from being away from BGS stuff? Are you doing okay?
God, please don't bring that up.
Okay, just checking.
I'm already on medication.
Right.
We'll talk about that more when we do the squadron update.
Sweet.
Right. So has everybody else left? I know Chig has stayed behind for now, at least.
Yeah, I'm waiting to adjust the polarity on my omnidirectional phantom power layering dynamic mic.
Most of those were words.
I just Googled music jargon.
You're making Trax all hot and bothered, saying all the right words.
I'm suddenly so interested.
His buffer size is increasing. All right.
Oh my God. Okay.
All right, sorry, I cut off Devoluter. Devo, go.
No, I was just going to... what I was going to say was way less interesting than what you just said. I just left the little gem nebula, which is waypoint number 5.
Oh, you're way down.
Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of exploring in the first year of playing this game, and I really got it out of my system. So I'm not, stopping every 20 feet and scanning around. I'm really getting through it so I can get back and shoot things.
That's the spirit.
Thanks.
Well, hold on. Shooting probes is shooting things.
They don't have the same effect.
All right. I showed up for the launch night of the thing and did the one jump, and then I'm now back in ROS 10 waiting to leave because I am working on the 11th and final power play power to get the final power play module. And I just, I couldn't leave considering it's either tonight or tomorrow morning when I hit the official 4 weeks. I would have been thinking about it the whole time I was out in the black, and I'd have been rushing back just to, get that done. So I had to wait.
Right.
So I'll be heading out tonight or tomorrow. But it did get me thinking
Cool.
about the power play thing a little bit. If you want to sidetrack already, real quick.
I don't see why not.
Perfect.
I will say that I have left. I actually just got to the first waypoint when we started recording, but in the show notes I have put. Let's see this is the link to. I clipped out the mass jump from Start Night, which was pretty cool.
That was awesome.
It worked really, really well, and it looked cool, and everybody had different colored engine trails, and so that's pretty cool. It's like 45 seconds long, so check it out. If you don't feel like watching the whole stream where we muddle about trying to instance with each other to collect ourselves, but hey, we managed it in open. By the way, we didn't even resort to private group. And got everybody in there who was present, and everybody mass jumped, and it was pretty great. So anyway,
it did.
Yes,
The Dubs made a cool GIF too of us all gathered up. That was pretty slick.
I wish I could have organized it on my side, but for some reason the EDSM was, I don't know, the hamster on the wheel died or something.
Yeah, EDSM has. Very inconvenient timing, but he needed to move servers. He was unsatisfied with the server and started a migration just the day before our expedition started. And unfortunately, although it has come back online today, it's very fishy. And I'm finding that it's still not taking and reporting data properly. The website seems to be up, but that's maybe about it. And I've seen on his Discord that I think he's planning on moving it back to where it was before or something. Yeah. So
I think it's running really slow.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think he said.
It.
Yeah, I don't think he said moving back. I think he said he's going to have to make another change, which may be going back. But
yeah, I don't know.
Navigating it right now, you click on something and you got to wait 20, 30 seconds to go to what you want to look at on the site. So it's definitely dragging.
It still seems to be reliably like reporting your waypoint completion. It takes a day or two, but if you've got your account linked and everything, you should be able to be pretty confident that it's working at least.
Yeah, I got the ROS 310 check mark.
Yeah, I've gotten I've only been to the first waypoint so far, and it took about 2 days to update, 1 to 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, anyway, you were going to talk about power play. You were going to say something.
Oh, yeah. Well, last week we started talking about how the power play modules are linked to powers, blah, blah, blah. And how that kind of just is stupid on many, many levels. I was thinking they should take those where you don't have to get a certain rank with power play. They should have each power play. Once again, I'm asking the devs to do stuff when we know that they're overworked already.
Yeah, I hear they're busy.
But I think if they were to do something with the power play modules, you could still have them tied to each power, which then would introduce players to each power. But you don't have to pledge to them. You just have to go complete some quests of some kind that use those modules. Like for Grom bombs, you have some mission where you need to interdict somebody and stop them from escaping, and you get those. For the mining lances, you get a mission where you need to, for some reason, mine for whoever that old bag is. I can't think of her name right now.
That's the one you're waiting for. You don't even know her name.
Something along those lines. So it's not, affecting the power play, just people randomly want prismatic shield. So, Aisling Duval becomes the most prominent one most of the time. So I was thinking something along those lines. That would have made me happy instead of waiting 4 weeks for all these guys too. Just
I guess it would make more narrative sense too. It wouldn't make less narrative sense.
Yes, that's a better way of putting it.
I have a question for you concerning those. At this point, don't you think that just unlocking them, period, instead of unlocking them while you're pledged, even would be a better idea at this point?
Well, I mean, how would you unlock them by not? Yeah.
Instead of having to remain pledged forever to continue to get.
Once you unlock it, once you do the 4 weeks, then you get to buy them forever, even if you pledge to somebody else.
I guess, yeah.
That would I like that idea a little bit, just because then I'm not having to just buy type 10s to store hard points. It's asinine.
But that's
right
easy.
now.
That's like easy mode for the game, though, because that specifically, it's a reward for loyalty to that power play leader.
Yeah, but then that goes against, we already go against the spirit of that because we all just pledge to get what we want. Then we buy a ship.
There is no loyalty.
Guns. Exactly. It's
at the end of 4 weeks, you sell your soul to the next person.
Like my idea that I had before with the quest is having to do that quest or whatever that chore is every time you want to get one. I wasn't even going to be like you can just start buying them by unlocking it. So I would actually make them.
So it's like you do one and you earn the right to buy one prismatic shield.
Yep. And it's not like a massive. It's not a massive undertaking though. You'd get some credits and you get one of those modules. I'm going to get hate mail for this. I'm sorry.
You might.
I want to bring attention to the show feedback channel. Is private. We can read it, but other Discord members cannot.
That's right. That's at Commander Chig.
Anytime
in the show feedback channel. If you want to talk about that. Holy crap! He actually typed that word in there.
Yes, I did.
There might be a cream for that.
Well, so anyway, Distance Cruise did take off on Tuesday night our time, late Tuesday night over here in the States, and everybody's been having lots of fun. The screenshots channel is overflowing with lots of goodness already, and I've begun my own journey, kind of trying to scout for polonium along the way, because it's the only thing I didn't remember to bring. And my understanding from watching the chatter is that at some point in here, there's one particular waypoint that needs quite a long jump to get to. Apparently somebody with like a 60 light year range wasn't able to do it and was going to have to resort to a carrier ride. So I'm not sure what the story is with that. It's so hard to know what is going to cause, like when you're going to enter a spot that will cause that. It's like sort of hard when you're planning an expedition without actually being out there and looking in GalMap.
Well, I know that little gem nebula is pretty south of the plane. I'm not sure which one they're talking about though.
Is that what we went to on Distance Cruise 1? I remember there was one on the way home.
No, this is a different one.
Okay.
Yeah, there was one that was pretty far below the plane, and that did get tough. I did do one standard injection, not premium, to get through that with a...
That's where I learned about jetcon boosting.
I think no, actually my Anaconda didn't have trouble with it. It was, I did have to manually plot though. The auto plotter wasn't working, but I could, there were nearby stars. It just for some reason didn't like them. So anyway, that's what I've heard. I haven't gotten to that spot myself, but the other kind of long distance exploration news was, I can't remember honestly if we mentioned this last week or if we managed to skip over it, but Malik VR did a speed run to Beagle Point and I guess a couple of weeks ago now, and broke what was the current record. And the interesting part of the news gets more interesting, because then a few days later, the previous record holder, Commander Dr. Chives, decided to say, okay, hold my beer, I guess. And he went and beat it he beat the new record set by Malik by quite a bit, pretty much immediately, which is fairly interesting. I'm scrolling over to the forum post here where he explained.
Kills me.
How do you 4 hours?
It's
from Beagle Point.
Well, did you read what he said?
4 hours, 18 minutes.
I've been to Beagle Point one time, and I kind of want to go back, but it's a fucking commitment. In order to beat this record, he flew out there once in order to map the route, then came back, and then flew the route that he set up. It's
all while wearing a diaper.
Apparently. So he posted on the forum, how did I do this? After Commander Malik did his record run a week ago, I went to Beagle Point twice. The first journey was to map a custom route out there fitted to my ship and fuel consumption, like we do for the Buckyball Seg A challenge. In the end, I got a route with 267 jumps, which needed 54 premium injections to complete. And today I went to Beagle Point for the second time. This time was the record attempt. And he didn't record the whole thing, but there are plenty of screenshots proving the time. And the album full of screenshots is available in the forum post, which is linked in the show notes. And so Commander Dr. Chives back on top.
Whatever, I could beat that if I felt like it.
Do it.
Go for it.
A 4-hour trip to Colonia is something to brag about for a significant portion of the community.
Exactly.
And that's not even halfway.
He needs psychiatric help, I think, though, to be doing that. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Out there
it took me
twice.
like 2 or 3 days to get to Colonia for the community goal. Can't imagine.
And he had to
it's
be.
rough
And Colonia is 22,000. A Beagle Point is 65,000. That's nuts.
Wow.
Yikes. I mean, I like this game, but every now and then I gotta service the old lady, so I gotta take breaks.
Quit talking about Data's mom.
My bad.
Oh.
Big oof.
Well, since Chig's running his mouth, I guess it's the good time to talk about how Commander Musketeer hit 200,000 kills in CQC. So congrats to Musketeer.
Jesus
Congrats in
Christ.
hat tipping.
Dude.
Commander Chig for the CQC commentary.
Did you say 200,000?
200,000 kills. 200,003.
All the same 10 guys.
Posted.
Let me put this in a little bit of perspective. I get made fun of for how much I play CQC. He's got over 26 times the number of kills I have. Now that's not saying much. I'm not like CQC king or something, but keep this in mind. His 200,000 kills is more than the second, third, and fourth players combined. It's more than 3 times the guy in the second spot. It's just a giant number. There are 13 players with the legend the legendary rank is the second rank after elite. 13 players have that rank. They have combined for 160,000 kills. He has 200,000. You drop to the hero rank, you would take the top 27 ranked hero players to reach 200,000 kills. It's insane.
I wonder
Does
if
he
he
sleep?
has any of the ships past the Sidewinder in the open game.
He's quadruple elite.
Yeah, he's done everything. Yeah, he's
Dog.
Ballpark, like typical match, how many kills does somebody get when they win? And
You need
like 6 or 7. Isn't it?
In order to win, you need 750 points. And a kill is 100, is 50. So you could do it with 15 assists, I suppose. But typically, you're going to have 7 or 8 kills with a win, and you'll have an assist or so in there. He's basically got enough experience to be elite 8 times over, and there's only 20 some players who have ever reached elite.
I have one other question. Do assists add up to kills, or is this not counting his assists?
The assists are their own category.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know how many assists he has. Like I have about half, less than half. I think I've got 7,600 kills and about 2,800 assists. So
Jeez.
yeah,
your codex records your kills. I don't see assists in there.
Yeah, it's not in the codex. The only place you can see that is when you're in the lobby for CQC, and you can look at your stats, and it'll have your kills, your assists, and deaths in there, as well as win percentage, kill to death ratio, all that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling, and you wonder why. My favorite thing that he says is, he people give him shit and say they hate playing against him. Is he says stuff like, "Well, when I first started, I was getting my butt kicked, and I just got good enough to start beating people." He never had to play against himself. There was no player.
Musketeer.
Yeah, there was no 200,000 kill player around when he started. So, he's a different animal. When you're in there, you'll think he's cheating just because he's he's that freaking good. It is frustrating to play against him.
I'm going to stay on the PlayStation.
Yeah. But even since he got that, he's picked up like 1,000 kills in the last, 800 kills in the last 5 days. So he's playing 2-3 hours a day at least every day, and he wins. 7. I don't know what his biggest win streak is. It's got to be just crazy, though.
It doesn't have to be, but it probably is.
Oh, yeah. I've got a win streak of 20 has been my longest I've ever had, and I'm amateur at best, so he's got to have a win streak in the hundreds.
I'm still undefeated. 10 matches.
You're winning.
10 matches, and that's it.
Yeah, against the one other guy on the PlayStation.
That's right. Steve.
Hey, Steve.
CQ Steve.
Let's extend a hello to PlayStation CQC Steve from the Last Days podcast. We see you out there, buddy. Prepare to die.
Yeah.
I just realized that's going to be my epic account's character name is going to be CQ Steve.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Quick, make it now before somebody else does.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
grab it before this podcast
get in
airs.
there. I'll have to for sure.
I need to be CQC Bob then.
Just on the raw
Okay,
tongue is
everybody.
good. All right.
Next up, deep breaths, everyone. It's time for the squadron briefing.
Incoming priority message.
Squadron briefing.
Awesome.
Dude, I super
What if you
appreciate
had just,
the squadron update sound.
The semblance. I don't know what that is.
Sibilance. Stop looking up words.
All right.
Kid using a thesaurus for his paper.
That is not the right use of that word.
I will put my pop filter up and be quiet.
Also a
Good
fake
Lord.
thing.
No.
I know
pop
they're
filters
real.
are fake. You heard it here first. Okay, anyways. Squadron leaders, tell me about what I'm missing.
What we're all missing. Well,
Marbles?
except for Chig.
Marbles.
Yeah,
We're
we're
missing
missing our
marbles.
marbles. Yes, we've lost our marbles.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, that was very funny. Great job, guys. Classy work. Great
Someone
stuff.
rearranged the show notes. The how long is too long is actually a part of the squadron update.
Yeah. I think that was supposed to be in response to should they even put a squadron update in this show.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We have to.
There's plenty of
Because-
people still there.
Because in typical
only
Luke
took about-
Screws fashion.
It only took about 12 hours for me and Nurgle to realize that the shit was going awry while we're more than 1,000 light years away from home.
Whoops.
Because in typical Loose Screws fashion, we started an expansion and then went out into the black before it was finished.
It won't be the first expansion that we deal with while on this expedition.
No,
And
it'll be one of many.
the next one might also not be the last one.
Hmm.
If we keep to the schedule and we all stay out as long as it is, we may go through 4 or 5 whole expansions out in the black.
Whoops.
I have a
Well,
stupid question. Why is the expedition supposed to be like, what is it, 2-3 months long?
After we get done at Colonia, we're
Mhm.
going to go exploring ad hoc.
Where's ad hoc?
Yes.
Yes.
yeah,
More
so-
stupid
so-
questions. What's that?
So Diva, the idea behind the format of Distance Cruise 2 is that we are going out to visit Evelyn's Light, and from there, actually, it's near Colonia, so then we're just stopping in at Colonia for a little rest, and then there is a several-week gap between that and the last waypoint, which is back in Kama, home territory, so that we can just go explore and narratively, we're going to pick up where Commander Evelyn left off as per the story.
Thank you.
So that's the symbolic idea behind it. And we're just going to set out into the black and see what we find. So this was the cleverest way that could be conceived of doing this, because you can't program an expedition without waypoints. So we just left a giant gap.
I will symbolically do it for 2 days.
That's fine. And of course, you'll still count as complete if you streak straight back to Kama after reaching Colonia. So, yeah. So anyway,
since, by then the wheels will be coming off.
Yeah. So some people are, clearly not everybody is out here, and some people have secondary epic commanders who they've specifically left to be able to monitor some of this nonsense. Is there any hope?
Oh, is there hope? Yeah. I mean, some of them haven't left yet. Looking at you, Chig.
What?
Well, I know the lion's share of the BGSers on Sony are still in town. I don't even know that they signed up for it. So it's all is not lost.
I didn't even think about that. So yeah, there's the Sony crew, and there's 3 or 4 people on the PC side that I know for sure didn't go. And then there's the alts, and there's the people who haven't left yet. So, I mean, yeah, we're pretty good. But, this is, or tomorrow is the first, today was the first possible day for Ross to expand, and it didn't. So it's either going to be tomorrow or the next day. And, of course, we had a couple of nearby factions go into the toilet right as we were getting ready to expand. So I was hyperventilating yesterday.
I saw that.
But yeah, because I was seriously thinking I'm only 1,000 light years away. I can jump back, but I didn't. It's just going to have to go where it goes.
Now's the chance to take some of those passenger missions to Colonia.
Yeah, I could have, couldn't I? I never even think about those. They're not worth it.
I have no idea.
Go back and look.
So you never volunteer ideas unless you're willing to do them.
Exactly. Once touched, forever yours. And we've also, BGS-wise, we just finished one election. We've got 3 wars rolling right now. So it's never going to be a good time to just pack up and have everybody go out. So you might as well just go ahead and do it. I mean, if
you can't actually plan this. The other time, I'm actually trying to remember when was the Great Galnet blackout? Was that during the Distance Cruise 1?
No.
Did we luck out in that way?
Yeah. Well, no, Loose Cruise 1, I recall there being, what was it? They were selling, one of the Galnet articles where they were selling federal ships. No, federal Corvettes for super cheap.
Oh.
And I was
because I got in on that.
Did you?
And I was like doing Distance Cruise 1 on the schedule.
Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe that was
I got in on that.
Maybe that was my personal expedition.
You know what actually I remember happened in the middle of Distance Cruise 1 is the Loose Cruise faction got placed into the game.
Yep. That is
I
what
remember.
Yep.
I remember Ty cut short and ran on back home to go check it out. So,
and apparently kicked some people out of there.
Yeah.
The Galnet News website shows a story on January 14th, 3306. That'd be 2020. And that was when they renamed some of the Witchhead systems. And then the next story was one story in June, and that was the Vitadine Nanomeds story.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, really, I mean, we were on Loose Cruise. Didn't we start in January last year for the first? When did the first?
I don't remember.
But when the expedition started,
yeah,
it was in March, I think.
Yeah, I think it would have been just a little bit after,
because I was supposed
February.
to go to Disney World on April 2nd, and that got canceled because of COVID, and I was rushing to do the expedition super fast in like 2 weeks so that I would be back in time for my vacation. And then COVID canceled it. Fuck you, COVID.
Goddamn COVID.
Yep.
Yeah, that was in April. That was my birthday. It was pretty sad.
I love when you cackle. It's great.
It was sad. Ha ha. I don't know how to feel.
Coping mechanism. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome.
Well, we'll see how it goes, I guess. Anyway, special thanks to everybody who's going to be hanging back and sticking with the BGS in spite of having our normal, fairly large force not present. I think there's a bit of in-game news to go over and then we'll get to the stuff I think everybody really wants to talk about. So, Galnet. Let's go down the Galnet quickly. So we finished the xenological samples CG being delivered to Colonia. I don't think this is truly worth addressing, but the bizarre dual direction salt about this CG is just astounding to me. I don't know if you guys ever go on the forum very much, but I make a very, very seldom habit of it. And I did check it today just because I kind of wanted to know, like, what's the pulse? I want to check the pulse. It's hey everybody, it's still bad. I'm sorry for people who enjoy the forum, and I think you're probably just better at it than me because I just don't. There's nothing there for me. It's just seeing salt flying in all directions, and one person complains, and the other person complains about the same thing in exactly the opposite way, and.
I think some people just like
terrible.
to complain and listen to other people's misery.
That seems very true.
Yeah.
And mock it, yeah. So I don't know. But anyway, so this thing happened.
By the way.
Well, that's true. It's just it's a facet of the forums that has chased me off, I guess.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
It's the same thing if whatever you do, don't click on all the replies to any Elite Dangerous Frontier Twitter posts because they're hilarious. Why don't you fix your game, you bunch of idiots?
No matter what the post is, even if it's some holiday greetings, it's like, when are we getting ship interiors? That'd be nice.
Yeah, they're always so delightful. Like, hey, commanders, check out this thing we're working on. You're stupid ass.
The community managers are saints, and I still think they're doing a great job. I'll probably come back to that some more later. So anyway, this CG finished. Congratulations if you got a decal. It was simultaneously way too hard and way too pointless and super important and kind of easy.
I don't think they gave it enough time.
It seems like maybe a longer time period would have been appropriate because of the vast distance, but I don't know. It's also just a decal, so it's like it depends if you think a decal is really important or not. Then you would have seen this as like a great injustice if you weren't already in Colonia.
I mean, maybe if it was glowy and had particle effects like the top 10 commanders got.
But yeah, I don't have any comment about that.
Yeah, this was also one of those, hey, there's a whole bunch of people who play the entire game in Colonia and don't come back to the bubble. Let's do a CG out there for them.
Yeah. Although I agree. That's the first thing I thought of, but I hear it was at great distance to them as well. Maybe not quite as great as the bubble, but
it was like 1,000 light years, wasn't it?
It was like 2.
Oh gosh, 2. That's nothing. Never mind. I thought it was a lot for.
Yeah,
where you could find the pods.
I think the closest colored pods is in the Trifid Nebula. It's like 1,200 light years from the bubble.
Oh, jeez, that's nothing.
That's where all the carriers were buying them up, and that's how the top 10 commanders range from 5,000 to 11,000 contributions for this CG.
So you're saying the residents of Colonia are just a bunch of complainers?
I tried on this one. I delivered my 64, my Class 6 cargo container. And
did that get you 75%?
At the last minute, it upped to 80 tons. The 75%. That'll teach me. to try anything new.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You poor, pathetic loser.
It was fun. I went out
So,
and found a octahedral pod, so it's fun to just go out sometime and use your codex and go to one of the...
actually look for the rumors.
I haven't done that. These are all already discovered. But yeah, that would be...
okay.
That'd be something to do sometime, for sure.
A bit much. Okay, so then just today, on the 14th, a new article, New Marlinist Systems request emergency food supplies. So we have a new that just started. It is two-sided in the sense that it is both trade and then the other CG for bounty hunting for the same goal. We're delivering food and stuff or protecting the food deliveries, as simple as typical. And the reward is a little bit interesting, I guess, is a dual engineered point defense turret that has both lightweight and focused, which I questioned when I first saw the announcement because focused is not a possible mod for a point defense turret. But I got a quick reply from the CMs that it is focused. It is has higher velocity, longer range rounds, as well as being lightweight. So it's a mod that not only is double engineered, but is one that you couldn't do on your own anyway.
Big shout out to Zach for getting to us so quickly as well.
Yeah, Zach did a good old sweep through Discord and hit us all with that answer in very short order. Once again, congrats to the awesome community management team. So obviously not in the bubble. I'm not going to turn back for a point defense. But hey, I did get to look at the forum just long enough to see that, oh, you better believe it. There are plenty of people who are mad about that too. It is apparently something that is really important and is going to just tip a ton of balance in combat engagements. I truly fail to see how a point defense, no matter how long range it is going to provide an advantage to somebody over a typical point defense in a fight. But
you don't know how game-breaking point defense is?
Yeah, apparently this is a major friggin' thing. So
I just watched the latest episode of The Expanse, and those PDCs are really important to the Rocinante.
Dude, their
PDCs
awesome.
are essentially multi-cannons.
Their PDCs are 40 millimeter cannons that can be used as close quarters ship guns. So it's a little different, but yeah.
Those are definitely
anyway
for sure.
Is anybody truly excited and desperate to get their hands on a dual modded point defense dubs?
This is where you play the cricket sound effect.
You told me you were going to go for anything that was a module.
It is a unique module, yes, and I would like to have it. However, I don't think I'm going to run back to the bubble for it. But I am only at the first waypoint, so You're
very close.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm heading out to the second waypoint tomorrow on schedule with the expedition. I actually just finished topping my tritium back off after jumping out here with mining. So now would be an all right time for me to head back, I guess, because I could take the Anaconda and go finish up the tritium real quick with some deliveries and then get my fancy smancy little point defense that I don't know if I would even use it because I don't use point defense. So,
yeah, I've only put them on a handful of ships. Particularly, my mining vessel has some. I think one, and I've occasionally put them on another ship. I don't know. I mean, it's very good in certain situations, right? But
I own a single point defense, just one, and it belongs on my Guardian Sight Diamondback.
Yep. Right.
So. Yeah.
I wish they would make those double engineered modules look special in the menu because I can't tell which is which.
Oh, it's hard to determine. Yeah. They should give them a little name change or a prefix or something.
Yeah, an asterisk at least.
I know. I heard people are having problems doing the combat one because there's like no has-reses or resource extraction sites or anything in the system.
Perfect.
So, are we having to do installations again?
Well, there's just really no place to bounty hunt for these, really. I mean, people are and this is just, as you said, the dumpster fire forums I was reading. And, some people put some, cargo in your ship and fly around the system, get interdicted and kill it that way, and stuff.
Right.
I'm sure there's other ways of doing it, but people are making lists about how it's just a giant pain in the ass and why would they put it in this system of all systems. But I don't know, make people work for it, I guess, because it's so awesome.
Well, I mean that is it, right? Like make people work for it. There's also the kill warrant scanner, so you could possibly go hunting in another system and maybe get credit that way. But
finding those particular bounties, I don't know.
It's at least worth it for getting something that's already just fully engineered lightweight, because anybody who's engineered a bunch of lightweight things knows how quickly they go through all those materials.
Yeah, but how much does a point defense weigh? I mean,
it's not.
That's a good point.
I think a max of 10 tons. I use
if you do the ammo capacity mod.
Right.
And I got to make sure to have that on my exploration ship for sure.
Yeah, speaking of the double engineered modules, we've
talked I think sorry, buddy.
About the Untitled surface scanner from a few CGs back. I've been using that. This thing is awesome for target.
Yeah.
With the number of probes it takes.
Planets that require 6 can be done in 2 probes, or where the efficiency is 6 can be done in 2 probes. It's pretty nice. It's not a big deal. It's not like game changing or anything.
Right.
I've never failed the efficiency bonus.
I haven't tried on one of the big 22 target planets yet.
Yeah, those can get. I tried to do one of those the other night without the double engineered DSS on a 21, and I think it took me 24 to get it.
Oh, Jesus.
Get
good, scrub.
Oh, Lord.
Because that's what we need to be good at. Shut your hole. I hope you die.
Well, I just found a landable planet with volcanism and polonium surface, so I'm going to go have a look.
Check the gravity.
Next. Yeah, it's not big. Anyway, okay, so let's get to it here. So development news.
No, curses.
This is the rough part. So on what day was it? On yesterday, Wednesday. Frontier made an announcement on their forum that and kind of everywhere for additional delays for Odyssey in development, citing the fresh new shiny lockdowns in the UK. They're having to slow some things down. So the current plans are now alpha release early spring 2021, and this will be PC for the people who bought the deluxe pre-order package. Then PC release late spring 2021, which will be for PC only, and then the console release autumn 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously this very much sucks for console. But yeah, the fact is that it is known that it's a bit more difficult to, I don't want to say like more difficult to develop console, but the issue is pushing out updates becomes more complicated. And so the way I have seen this is that for one thing, people talk about coders working from home, and it shouldn't be that big a deal. But the issue I think that is overlooked by many of the people complaining about this is, people have families, schools are shut down, stuff like that. And I work from home, my life is still awfully disrupted when my wife and daughter are going to be here all week. And I need to be like helping the little one with school and things like that. So it's rough. It disrupts everything. I think that's the main thing. But then sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I mean, let's say it. All these people complain it don't know shit from shit. So they can shut the hell up.
They speak with authority. I kind of like when this announcement came out, I was browsing a bit through Twitch and just saw some people streaming and speaking with a lot of authority in their voice about how totally silly this was. And I have a background law, and I know that this shouldn't be. And this is basically just calling them out, saying this is an excuse, and they probably were desperate to delay it because screwing it up. And I think that's all horse shit, and I don't have any patience for it.
Even if it were an excuse, do you want another Cyberpunk?
Exactly.
2077.
Yes.
Well, okay, so that actually steers a little bit into the point I was leading to, which is I know it sucks that console is delayed, but I think really what's going on here is the PC players, for one thing, are much more numerous, and so they're, like it or not, this is sort of an announcement for the financials of the company more than it is for us, and we're getting picked because it's quicker to roll out updates for us, so we are beta testing this thing for you. So by the time it gets to console, we will have shaken the bugs out for an extra few months. And
I'm gonna laugh at that. The bugs will be shaken out. Just saying.
I'm not saying they're all going to be gone. It's going to have been played on and beat on for a while. And if you try to, when every time they push a little like, oh shoot, here's a hot fix, you gotta filter that through the Xbox and the PlayStation ecosystem, and that makes
console
more difficult.
validation.
So anyway.
Well, I mean,
I'm going to stop talking and let you guys talk.
Yeah, we also are going to be playing with a lot more raw shader usage. The Cobra engine can handle a lot more than they use it for, and they've said that. But certain parts of it fundamentally are going to take longer to develop for the dedicated hardware that the Xbox Ones and the PS4s are made out of. The next generation consoles are going to get closer to PC experience with their shaders in graphic hardware.
At least the Xbox is.
They still need to optimize the shaders for the not current gen consoles. I don't want to say last gen, because the generations, the generation system that we've been calling the generations of consoles is becoming more and more gray. Those lines are getting more and more blurred, especially when you consider how demanding a game like Cyberpunk is on a system, even a high-end PC, not being played well on Xbox Ones and PlayStation 4s, but being playable there most of the time. I don't have any personal experience, so I can't say yay or nay, but I do know some people on a PlayStation 4, not Pro, that enjoy the tar out of the game. But a little bit more time and love would have made it more enjoyable on that system.
Yeah.
And you also got to think that, when it rolls out on PC, inevitably, every software in the history of mankind has released with bugs. Odyssey will too. On PC, you just push out a patch and fix it. If you have a bug on one of the consoles, you have to go through the whole console validation thing. It takes weeks sometimes to get those pushed out. It's actually better for everybody involved if it rolls out on PC first, sorts out the bugs, and then rolls out to consoles.
Well, it's a PC game first, so I don't...
true.
I assume it sounds like you guys are saying that a lot of console players are complaining. I'm sure there's plenty of PC people who are complaining as well. I'm perfectly fine with it. I mean, it's obviously sad because I might have been one of the people who was really looking forward to growing legs and jumping around with a jetpack. But I completely get it. I understand why, and I accept the circumstances, and so be it. I have to wait, basically almost another year. It is what it is.
It's not done.
And what's worse is I got to sit here because you guys will get it 3+ months before I do. I get to sit on this show and listen to you guys talk about it while I go.
We'll be sure to tell you all about it.
That's right. But I don't know. I just don't entertain any of that complaining for people who don't know anything about coding. And also, look, England got it really bad where their lockdowns were pretty stiff. This is their third one. I mean, if you can't even accept that as a proper excuse, then you're just a jerk.
Yeah.
It all depends on how I didn't read the whole press release or anything. I just saw the delay and I'm like, oh boy, people are going to be happy.
Right.
But I mean, if they were saying, because of the most current lockdown, we're going to have to push back farther, they already knew it was going to be delayed before the new lockdown hit, because it wasn't like, everything was going to accelerate a ton. I mean, people were expecting the game out by now, the most optimistic forecasts from people in the community, a few months, when it got delayed out of December, and it's like, it'll come out first quarter, and Braben even came out and said, it's not going to be, it's not going to be long delayed. It's just, a little bit more work needs to be done. And people were thinking that was pushing it into, middle of January. I figured that was very, very optimistic, but this delay is now just crazy.
They gave themselves a window. Sorry, hey, go ahead.
I am ever the optimist, and I was really hoping that they had been pulling our leg about the pre-orders and the alpha and the beta, and that they were just going to do a Respawn Apex Legends release and be like, hey, we have this really cool game. You can pre-order it and download all the files, and it releases on Thursday.
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow. That would have been nice.
In December, I thought maybe they're going to release it on the 24th.
But the realistic thing was they gave themselves enough padding so that they could release it at the end of March and go, all right, we didn't break our promise, which I'm fine with because there's too much procrastination in the industry.
We'll be lucky to see it by the end of April.
Correct. Well,
my guess is May, June, we'll be looking at it.
And in my case, watch out November.
And the biggest gripe from console players that I fully understand, and I understand why they would be annoyed that it's being put out in stages, is there is going to be the first walked on tag they've talked about, and PC players are going to get months jump ahead of time to go do those kind of things.
Okay, so specifically on that point though, I was watching the live stream when they went on today, and obviously that was the topic of conversation in chat. That was give us an answer. Will there be a delay to the first footfalls? And eventually they got the attention of Art and Bruce, who said, we haven't been given that information yet, but I will find out. So we'll have word on that soon. I think they have to. It would be crazy to not delay first footfalls.
I'm willing.
I think they have to. That would be so crappy.
Yeah, but it sounds ridiculous. You could land on a planet first, and then you don't get first footfall, and then all of a sudden it comes out on console. Then that starts going live, and it's also in a new race to go back. I don't know. It's just immersion breaking.
Yeah, I'm with Chig on this one. I mean, why bother? But the good news is, anytime you've scanned a planet and then you go, Cooter Puncher 69 already got it first.
That goddamn Cooter Puncher.
He is the worst.
I hate that guy. Not as bad as Cooters do.
I never really care. I mean, it would be nice to, about the extent of what was going to happen is like, I hope I can get one of Ross 310 planets before the rest of these goofs do. Well, that's out the window.
It is weird if they delay that aspect. I don't know. The whole thing is just weird.
They won't run out of planets to claim in 3 months.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
exactly.
Even in the bubble.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna look for some PlayStation squadrons and Xbox squadrons and go claim all the footfalls on their systems.
You're terrible.
We know that. That is known. That is known.
One thing I thought was interesting, back to the console generations for a moment, they're still calling Odyssey as being only, they're saying it's only, it's running on backwards compatibility on the new consoles. They haven't announced a release for it yet.
Didn't they say they were not going to update?
Yeah, I think they basically
line,
said, the game is not going to get any kind of otherwise update. Just like the typical it will allow the upscaling, that the new consoles can do. But that's something the consoles are doing natively for the most part, I think.
And that's what I think it's overblown. I think that whole thing that it's not being released on the new consoles is overblown, because with backwards compatibility, it is being released.
You're getting the graphical updates to the Planet Tech, and the lighting engine is all getting updated, just like it is for the PC.
Yep. So, I follow on. Sorry, Hate, but I follow PS Elite Reddit channel, and apparently it looks pretty much exactly the same, and even the load times are pretty identical to the generation prior. There's not too big of a difference.
You mean in this game in particular?
Yes. And specifically this game, like it really, the load times really rely on their servers.
Yeah. Right. Which makes sense.
So there's not much of a difference. The graphics might clean up a little bit or load in a touch quicker, but not too much difference.
It could achieve higher frame rates, and it could upsample. It could upscale, so you could run at a higher resolution.
Well, the frame rate is good, at least.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hate. Go ahead. I completely cut you off.
Speaking of low poly games that get upscaled really hard, have you guys seen Minecraft with shaders?
No.
Oh, man.
What on earth?
Ray tracing.
Later, you'll have to look that up. It gets bonkers.
Is this is more than just the ray tracing, the global illumination Minecraft?
Yeah. That, but on steroids.
Huh.
Okay.
Dang, he shut that down.
Yeah, he's a conversation assassin.
Cool story, bro. All right.
Okay. Are you guys really done with that? I'm fine if you are.
I could sit and just bitch some more if you want. I mean, I could talk about how console peasants should quit crying and stuff like that. But
I'll just say it. It is what it is, Frontier. You do you, and I will wait as patiently as I can muster. And that's about it.
It's very zen of you.
Thank you.
Well done. That's how you live a long time, boys and girls. Another thing that was announced on the stream, which is good news, so I saved it, is that from here out, starting tomorrow, they plan to have Friday, I don't know what to call them, information drops. They're going to have questions answered. Art said that he had been pooling questions that they kept having to say, I don't know, let me ask the devs and get back to you on. Coming to us with some of that information every Friday. Tomorrow's is going to be about settlements. That is on the 15th of January. And there will be a place on the forum announced tomorrow where you can enter a drawing. There will be 5 winners that will have their names placed on a settlement in Odyssey.
Really?
Yeah, that's happening tomorrow. Yeah. So just you the way they described it, you're going to go to this forum. You don't have to do it. It's not going to be like onerous sign up process or anything, but you have to give them like your surname or something like that. And then he went on at some length to assure you that if you told them your name was Cooter Puncher or something, they would not put that on a settlement. Yeah. Cooter Puncher 69. Exactly. That will never be on a settlement in there. Not in my game, he said.
Boo.
He didn't say that part. He said the rest of it.
Can we rename Maury Port Cooter Puncher Port?
I don't think we can rename ports. I think we're talking about settlements that previously didn't exist in the game, but will now be these sort of Wild West settlements that we've been hearing so much about.
I do have a workaround. We could befriend Drew Wagar. Tell him to write it in, if they're going to have the Levi Strauss, station, why not Cooter Puncher?
First of all, why are you equating those things? Second of all,
jeans and cooters go together like hands and gloves.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. That's an unassailable argument.
It's a perfect metaphor.
I'm shocked and amazed and impressed.
Carry
But
on.
if you're gonna go for the full meta name, it has to be XX420 Cooter Puncher 69XX.
That's right. Underscore.
Isn't it a triple X at the beginning and end?
Little X, big X, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
Awful.
Children.
What sort of mission
terrible.
types do they have at Cooper Puncher Station? There's an all-female bandit group out over the hill.
Commander, we have an assassination mission for you. It's some wet work.
Oh,
Well, we lost every female listener of the show.
we had it.
Probably one.
There was a couple.
Raxla Smaxla.
According to the numbers, there was a couple.
They
before
could be
today.
into. They might be into it. Who knows?
And now they're gone.
Oh, man.
Oh,
It had to make it
okay.
creepy, Chig.
That's
his
my
job.
thing.
Mm.
I'm crying. That was too much, guys. Good job. Good job. Holy crap. Oh,
And
we're
in
doing pretty good
Frontier
on our-
News,
We're doing pretty good on our note sheet so far.
where are we?
Let's step out of Elite for a moment and do a Chig Chat. What do you think?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right.
Why is this?
We
sound
here
so
at
good?
Loose Screws never end a sentence with a preposition.
You're wondering why it came through correctly?
Yeah.
I think I just mixed that sound way louder. I think the Squadron one is just much too quiet.
No, he
Anyway,
just likes me more.
I'll fix them. Yeah,
He like-
that's what it is.
He likes me more.
Chig Chat.
Chig
Chig
Chat.
Chat.
All right. Chig Chat. Okay, this week somebody suggested that we talk about pets and people's co-pilots. Co-pilots, I believe somebody cleverly said.
Mhm,
Yes.
mhm.
Not as cool as some things, but and then everybody started posting pictures of their dogs and cats, and somebody even posted pictures of their mice, which I thought was fantastic. And I
love a mouse as a co-pilot.
I absolutely.
That's great.
But like I've had so many pets in my life. Like, God, I had an iguana. A favorite thing that thing liked to eat was spaghetti. Believe it or not, when we'd start cooking spaghetti, you would hear the garlic, and it would just start bobbing its head and going all crazy. It was a great pet.
It's probably an allergic reaction it was having.
Yeah, I know, right? I had a tarantula as a pet. Bought that like my first apartment when I turned 18, and was told that it would live 3 to 5 years. That thing was around for over 20 years. Apparently,
Whoa.
well, I ended up seeing like on Discovery Channel that like they were studying them because they don't show signs of normal aging, so they don't know what their actual life expectancy is. Which I'm like, oh yeah, when I bought it, 3 to 5 years, and 20 years later.
The pet store is telling you 3 to 5 years because that's how long it takes the owners to fuck it up.
Yeah, pretty much. That's. I think I'm not going to say it was neglect. I don't know. I don't think too many. I think PETA's going to come knocking on my door for neglecting a spider.
I think you did all right.
That thing lived. Yeah, that thing had a long, fruitful life. I mean, like I bought that in my first apartment. Then my sophomore year, I lived in the dorm, so I couldn't have it. So it went and lived with my parents for a while. Then when I moved,
So you kept it a secret in the dorm.
Oh man, he was around. Well, no, it was kind of a secret when I met my wife and. We're dating and I have to move in with her, and I'm bringing Harry with. That was his name, so clever.
Harry.
Yeah,
You did good, kid.
So the iguana's name was Iggy. So I'm very creative with my pet names.
Perfect.
But now I've got a bird. I've had cats forever. I'm definitely a dog person, not a cat person. I'll never own another goddamn cat. But no, if you like cats, more power to you. But I'm looking for people to come and post more pictures of their animals so we can see them. People on the show here, almost everybody posted a picture of their co-pilot or co-pilots. The other thing I want to ask is, you guys, is the idea I've heard, like on Flight Assist, they've talked about it, is, adding vanity pets to the game, letting us add dogs or cats or spiders or birds or any kind of pet. I think that one step they'd have to take first, and I wish to fucking God they would just do this, is just hand wavium artificial gravity into our ships and stuff, because we don't want to see our goldfish floating around the well, maybe we do, but
no, they could have the goldfish is fine. And spiders are probably fine too. That would actually be fun. Them floating around and then like Spider-Manning themselves around the thing. But I would love little doggy mag boots. That'd be great.
Oh dear God! Have you ever put booties on it? You live in a little bit warmer climate than I do. You put those booties on them and they walk around like they're dying. It's amazing. I love it.
Well, I grew up in New England actually, and we had a bit more serious winters. Not like yours, I'm sure, but my dog when I was a kid, she did not do that well when it was like really icy, and so we got these little booties, and oh my God, it was both funny and very, very sad to watch. But yeah, boy, do they hate that crap.
Oh,
and then again, I've seen dogs that don't mind it, so I don't know what the story is. Maybe it's just most dogs don't. Oh, they shake them off, and they look like an idiot when they walk. They look so stupid.
I had a dog. It walked like he was freaking in Nazi Germany with this dog going straight up in the air in front of him as he walked. It was amazing.
First, can I interject or something? Because I watched an interview within the past week of a specific astronaut, a Canadian guy. I forget his name. But he explained the process of taking a shit in space. All right, so imagine that with a dog.
Oh. How does the litter box work?
Little Snicker bars flying around your ship? No, thanks. And what if he gets a bad diet? You know what happens.
That's why I said gravity. Give us gravity first, then pets.
Okay. And honestly, I think I'm converted.
If that's an ARC's purchase, they can print goddamn money. Just people will buy cats and dogs and birds and hey, let's take it to the next level. Let people send in a picture and pay you $50 and you put their actual dog in the game.
I'll settle for space legs.
Bringing it back around.
Everyone listening, go watch the clip from Always Sunny in Philadelphia from Kitten Mittens.
Yes!
Go watch that.
Oh my God. Yes, for sure. Yeah. But that's my thing this week. Pets. Do you want them in game? Cool. What are your real pets? Pictures of your real pets. Ideas on how you can make pets work in game. I don't know. Anything. Pets is what I put in the notes.
Pets. Well done.
No.
It's definitely the brightest day of the week for me. Looking at the Discord that day, it's like, oh,
yeah, it was good.
That was some good stuff for sure.
So on that note, I got to go put some water in my daughter's dish.
Whoa!
Just
that's how I keep her in line.
Any lower?
Good Lord! I can't wait to see the Spotify stats. The Spotify stats next year are going to,
as the listeners are running away.
Very different demographic numbers.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, God. And if she gives me any lip, I'll hit her over the nose with rolled up newspaper.
Yikes. Okay.
Right. Carry on.
So last thing in the notes was we mentioned in a previous episode, Drew Wagar doing his Retribution story that'll be told live streaming on Twitch in-game with a bit of choose your own adventure stuff that's happening. Did anybody get to check it out today? It started about 3:00 my time. I got to watch some.
Yeah, no.
Nope.
Not.
All right. Well, it was pretty cool. I think he's doing. Do you want me to talk about this, or do you want me to cut this out?
Spoilers. No, yes, please tell me.
Okay, so the way it's going down, like he started off with kind of a cutscene, I guess you would say, this kind of voice acted produced bit of sort of exposition, and then he's dropping this character into the start of the game. The only thing he had done is the very first mission where they award you 10,000 credits or something for flying to a station. And the character has a backstory. They have some reason to sort of be out there doing some things. But other than that, they're just in the world, in the galaxy. And he's there. He's interacting with chat and people in game. He said, like, talk to me, ask me questions. If you want to talk to the character, you have to ask in game. That's the rule. And people are doing it. And I wasn't sure, like, some of the stuff that they started being received through messages was so kind of like connected to the story correctly that I wondered if some of it was planted, because I think he probably has other people there that are sort of like part of it that might be helping him.
Yeah.
But it definitely wasn't exclusively that. There were definitely like other like actual commanders joining the private group and choosing to role play into the story and communicate with this character in a way that would be sort of realistic to the story. And it was really fun. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but he's basically just kind of doing missions. Okay, how do we need to upgrade our ship before we're going to be able to get anywhere with this mystery we're investigating. And yeah, it was pretty neat. So he's receiving comms. Hey, I heard about what happened to you. If you want to learn how to fight, like, come to there. You know, I don't know if that's a plant or it's not, because it was mixed in with all these messages. I don't know which ones. You know, I think it's coming out pretty cool. So anyway, I'm not going to do any like story spoilers, but this is there will be replays, I think, on his YouTube channel. I'm streaming live on Twitch. It's going to be on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Local time, which works out to I guess for if we're on Central Time for the show, I think 2 p.m. Central for us here in Central Time. And anyway, I think it's pretty cool. So there.
Neat. I'll have to check it out. You'll have to link it in the Discord. So
yeah, I left a link to, what did I link to? It's probably the same link. This is to sort of his trailer for the whole thing, but his Twitch page obviously is easy to find. Just search for Drew Wagar and follow it, and you'll get the announcements. And then, of course, I think the replays are going to be YouTube page like about 24 hours later is usually how that works. And I think
there's probably links to all that on drewwagar.com, because he does have his own website.
Surely. Yeah. If you want the lazy thing, the link I gave, find it. It's all his YouTube video, like, it's directed to the FAQ page. You know, search him, you'll find him. So this is the thing. Like, he's written a story. But a lot of it is a bit open-ended, and he's taking suggestions and help from whoever's in game there with him. And there's a lot of coolness here. It is like kind of the next level of community created events. You know, he's a bit of like he's prepped. He's wrote some things. Some of it is secret. Some of it might come to pass. Some of it might need to be rewritten, depending on what happens, depending on what choices other people make and what happens. Character. Pretty neat. None of it is official canon. None of it is created by FDev or anything like that. It's just something he is doing. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
Seems like he's been getting back into the creating stories and videos for the game in recent months.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, and I like the different medium too. You know, it's not just a book. It's like, what can I do with this? You know, getting in and playing the game and
interactive.
You know. Yeah. And I think if it goes well, if it gets a lot of viewers and it's worthwhile, I think this is a really cool thing that obviously is only going to get better come this summer and fall. You know, when the ability to tell stories in the game is going to see a massive, and so I think it's exciting. Anyway, that's all I have for the show. So,
Fantastic.
any other business?
I have another idea for FDev to make a shit ton of money.
Okay.
New ship skins for getting more IPs, Star Wars ships and stuff like that, and selling them for arcs. It would make a shit ton of money. But no, listen, this is where I come from with it. People would be like, oh, come on, really? You want to see a bunch of Millennium Falcons flying around, blah, blah, blah. The way I see it, this is our galaxy in the future. So people in this future know about these old movies. So
yeah, Star Wars came out hundreds of years ago.
Episode 308 just came out in 3306, I think. So people know these ships in this future, and you got to admit, some billionaire nerds would love to fly some of those ships, and they could sell them for a ton of arcs. So get a hold of Lucasfilms. Reason I thought about this is Data mentioned The Expanse earlier, and God, I was watching that the other day, and I said, I need the Rocinante in this game so bad. And then I'm like, well, how could they put these ships in this game? It would be dumb if all of a sudden, it's just these fictional ships, but they existed in this galaxy at some point as fiction, but now we have real spaceships. You don't think that people will be making that shit in the future? I guarantee it.
Yeah, actually, I mean, it truly makes perfect sense, right? Because we're, well, whatever. I mean, that's the thing about this game. This is,
it's our universe.
Future truth. Yeah.
Anything from our current world could be put into that future. So
if they can terraform Mars, they can have an MCRN.
Yeah,
right?
now if all of a sudden they added a character, Han Solo flying the Millennium Falcon in this game, and we had to go kill him, then it gets kind of silly. But if they're playing off the spoof of the fact that somebody's making 20th century science fiction stuff, I think it'd be awesome.
So this would be a cosmetic mod for
cosmetic
Phantom or something.
Honestly, when I thought it through even more, the problem is you'd have to already have ships with hard points and close to the same spots and stuff, in order to make it work.
Yeah,
because you couldn't.
It'd be a much more severe mod, like in universe, be a dramatic modification of the ship.
Yes, you'd have to have ships that are closely shaped, at least where the cockpit is located and where hard points are located, so that the hitbox and stuff isn't affected by a cosmetic.
There are so many people that get really bent at the ships that have an off-center cockpit.
Yeah.
How would people react to a Millennium Falcon?
I know, it's bonkers. But why does your cockpit have to be centered in space?
All the symmetrical ships are really bugging me, and I think we need some seriously asymmetrical ships.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the thing that it doesn't really exist in this universe, right?
Hold on, I haven't heard Mr. Dubs talk in a while. How do you feel about seriously asymmetrical ships, Dubs?
I've never really been bothered by the asymmetrical cockpits, so I don't really have a strong feeling either way about them.
What if they made a Type 7 with the cockpit on the side? Would you fly it then?
I mean, be on a medium pad and still carry what a Type 7 carries? Maybe.
I don't know. When I look at a Type 7, it already looks like its cockpit is up its own ass, so I don't care about that ship at all.
Yeah, you turn it backwards, it's a hemorrhoid.
You're asking Dubs the wrong question. The question you asked Dubs is if they made a Python with a cockpit on the side.
Oh, God, please, no, not the Python.
Boa confirmed.
If you made that ship any worse than it currently is, I might just vomit.
I want a pet Python in my Python.
I love the Python.
This is where I tell him that I parked my mining Python on his carrier for the expedition. You're carrying it around.
Get out. Oh. Get out.
He's decommissioning his carrier right now. Desperate times.
Sounds about right. All right.
Vault is bringing, he's either brave or crazy or something in between. He's bringing a Type 7 on the expedition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we can ask
personal
him.
challenge, I think.
That boy ain't right in the head.
He fits right in.
I think. Overheating.
Yeah, fits right in.
That's cool.
Yeah, the heat seems to be an issue.
Definitely something different.
Anyway. Cool. Well, that seems like a podcast to me. I think all I'm going to need is some cheese and some jokes and some signing off.
Cheese and some jokes and some signing off. All right. Cheese this week. I'm going with, well, this one's probably going to catch some heat. I'm going with nacho cheese. You know why nacho cheese? Because it's mine, not yours. But honestly,
is that your joke too?
No. Nacho cheese is really just any cheese you put on nachos. But I'm talking specifically of that gooey, nasty shit you get at like the movie theater.
Yeah,
or the big can from Costco or something that is just this big.
Sign me up.
Yeah. Give me a spoon.
Dairy product.
Yes.
Extremely high salt content cheese sauce.
Yeah, pretty much it's liquid orange salt is what it is. It's
50% oil.
The Fritos.
It is amazing though. Oh yes, dip Frito scoops.
Jalapeno cheddar. Jalapeno cheddar.
Oh fuck
Dip.
yeah.
Nacho cheese Doritos with nacho cheese on them.
Yes. Hey, no, you can dip a shoe in nacho cheese to tell you the truth, and you'll be fine. So I'm not going to be too picky.
Tortilla chips, shredded barbecue, nacho cheese. You'll thank me later.
All right. You mean like meat, right? Like pork? Yeah.
Pork, beef, chicken, your choice.
You said shredded barbecue.
You mean like meat, right?
Well, what do you barbecue besides meat?
Okay.
In the Northeast,
those
are considered barbecue.
Clearly, I'm not in the Northeast.
I'll do 2 cheese jokes this week. We'll start with this one. Why didn't the boy get to go on the field trip to the cheese factory? His parents didn't sign the permission slip. And to go with the pet theme, how do you get a mouse to smile? Say cheese.
I got more laughs than I was expecting.
Cheesy, everybody.
This is my jam. This sort of garbage jokes. All right. So here's something about my life.
It involves Fletcher Munson curves.
Stop looking at audio terms. That one's real, by the way.
But did he use it right?
Well, he didn't really use it at all. He just said it.
So I used it correctly.
I mean, he didn't use it wrong. Okay. Anyway, when the family gets up, I send my wife and daughter off to school. My wife's a teacher, and my daughter goes to kindergarten at the same school. So they go off together. So I prepare their lunches, and I put a little piece of paper with a dad joke in my wife's lunch bag each day, as like a little. Like, middle of the day, hey, thinking about you kind of thing.
And you're still married. Wow.
Yeah. And they're awful. It's so good. It's exactly my jam. I love that anyway.
They're the best.
Jeez.
Perfect. All right. Did I say stay cheesy, everybody?
Stay cheesy,
just
everybody.
All right.
Say it again. Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining me. It has been tremendous fun, as always. Thanks, Chig, Devo, Dubs, Data, Nurgle. Hey, it's been a wonderful podcast. Fly loose and fly screwy, and we'll see you next week.
And don't punch any cooters.
Tell me what to do.